Shay Alexander Wright, and I'm a guitarist in Los Angeles, California, currently playing with Corbin Blue. Today we're going to learn how to play a deep sound on the electric guitar. Let's start with the strings, the 5th and 6th strings, the bottom of the instrument, really the top of the instrument, A, 5th, E, 6th. Those are the 2 strings that we'll use to play what's called a power chord. These are the lowest strings on the instrument, and we'll use this power chord on the lower strings to get the start of that deep sound. The power chord is the root of the chord, E. I'm going to use E. And the 5th tone in the E scale, which is B. And on the instrument, that's the 5th string, A string, 2 frets up. We're going to put those 2 together, the E and the B. And that's the E power chord, or power chord. And you can take that power chord and go all the way up the fret with it. All the way up the fretboard with it. So on and so forth. We can do that on every string on the instrument, really. We'll do it not only with the 5th and 6th strings, we'll do it with the 5th and 4th string as well. That's the A string, 5th, and D string, 4th. And so on and so on. I should also point out too that I'm using my middle finger to play that B on the open power chords, but I like to use my pinky for the other ones. So my index finger on the bottom string and my pinky on the string above it for the 5th tone. See, I'm going back and forth between open, middle finger, open E, and then index finger with the pinky. So that's one way of getting that power chord in the deep sound of the guitar. The other way is what I like to call nuclear power chord. I don't know what it's officially called, but I call it nuclear. It reverses that root on the bottom and the 5th tone on the top, and it puts the root on the top and the 5th on the bottom. So we're going to take the 5th and 6th strings again, A and E strings, and we're going to go 5 frets up, and we're going to put, let's say this is a D power chord. So we've got the D on top and the A on the bottom. And it makes the instrument sound and feel, it gives the vibe of it being deeper than it actually is. I'll play that same riff in a standard power chord with that D and the A on top, D, 5th string, 5th string, 5th fret up, and A on the 4th string, 7 frets up. Riff. So you have that power chord tone, but it's a little brighter than if I use the bottom strings. I'll go back and forth a little bit so that you can see just how, what that difference is between the brightness and the deepness, the darkness. Bright, dark. that's the second way of getting that deep sound for the electric guitar. The other thing that contributes to the deep sound that everybody tries to get is the tone of your amplifier. It comes from the bass. So I can go down right here. I have all of my amp settings on my pedal board. So if I want less bass or more bass, I just go down and change the bass tone and just rock it back and forth to get the level of deepness that I want. So just go to the tone knobs on your head and get that, rock that bass back and forth, and you'll get the amount of deepness that you might want. That deep, heavy sound. The other thing that contributes is the cabinet, the speaker cabinet that you use. Today I'm using a 2x12 in a really big box for a 2x12 cabinet, and it gives me it's deep, it's wide, it gives me a lot of bass coming out of the speakers. Some cabinets, some amplifiers just have one speaker in a smaller box. That's not so much bass, but you get the idea. Some people have 4 speakers in a box, what they call a 4x12 speaker, and also really wide cabinet, really deep box. It gives you a lot of that bass, deep bass sound. So between the speaker cabinet and the bass on the head or amplifier tone controls, if you will, that's what will also give you that deep bass sound. And you put all that together with the technique, with playing those power chords, whether they're the regular power chord or that inverted power chord where the 5th tone is on the bottom, you've got that deep sound for electric guitar. I'm Shay Alexander Wright, and that's how you get the deep sound for the electric guitar.